least we managed to save the Moshai.
I only wish we could have saved more.
At least we managed to save the Moshai.
Liam says he's planning a movie night.
That's the idea.
He's putting it off because it didn't seem right after seeing the exaltation facility. But now there's a delay. I had a thought. Every vid's better with snacks, right? I found an Angaran recipe for these little morsels you can make from a local Helios plant, but it's rare and...
You want me to look for one?
Oh, would you? I'd love to, you know, be social and things.
What can I do for you?
I couldn't help overhearing you and Gil. Sounded pretty heated.
He likes redesigning things, but the ship was built this way for a reason. I wish Gil would respect that. It's nothing to concern yourself about, really.
If you helped to build the Tempest, you must know plenty about her.
Just about everything, by memory. It was quite the effort to get her working. The initiative needed absolutely up-to-date technology, which we all had to coordinate, and some of it was rather tricky to acquire.
Acquire?
Buy, legally and above board, of course. Yes. Sadly, the other Pathfinder vessels were lost when the Scourge hit the Nexus. The Tempest is truly unique.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask, we're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists. We have to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated, lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
I'm not listening. You can say whatever you like.
Oh no, I'm not falling for that again.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I'll admit it, Gil's rather irritating. He insists on redesigning systems rather than maintaining them.
He likes to do things his way.
That doesn't make it the right way.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Wait, Lexi, your dad was Turian? That explains so much.
What's that supposed to mean?
Here we go. You know, how uptight you are.
I am not uptight.
Not even 300 years old and fussing at us like a matriarch.
I'm a doctor. Fussing's part of the job. Yes?
I'll let you get...
I'll be here if you need me.
I thought I hated the kit before. Then we learned about exaltation. I can't even begin to imagine how Jal feels about this.
I was curious about you and Sid, being on your own from such a young age.
Yeah, I really wouldn't recommend it.
Where was your mother in all this?
Back on Palaven, I suppose. She was an awful person. All she cared about was climbing the ranks. She and my dad fought all the time. I think at the end they hated each other. When things were really tough, I thought about going back. But she wouldn't have accepted us. Whatever my dad did destroyed any chance of that.
Where was home? Palaven?
No, we'd already left Palaven by then. Whatever our dad was involved in meant we weren't welcome there. I hadn't even gone to boot camp yet. Sid was barely a year old. We eventually settled in a mining colony in the Minos wasteland. 2 years later, our dad was gone.
How did he keep you and your sister afloat?
I was barely more than a kid myself, so lots of unskilled work. Construction jobs. No one else would do the dangerous stuff, so I would. Being up high, crawling under things. I could shoot a gun, so eventually I moved into smuggling. Even more dangerous, but lucrative. We were never rich, but we got to comfortable.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Hi there. Just checking in.
What's up?
Thanks for chatting.
You know it.
Now, exaltation. The Pathfinder?
Got any stories or advice to share?
Does a piejack scratch its butt?
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Fire and explosives are good against anything with heavy armor. Or anything, really. Generally, no one likes being set on fire.
Generally? There's a story behind this.
Ha, there sure is.
You mentioned that people generally don't like being set on fire.
I was hoping you'd ask. So, about 400 years ago, give or take a decade, me and my outfit were pinned down during a skirmish with another merc group. So I pull off my usual stunts, charge ahead and breach their barricade. Pop my flamethrower and get ready to let go. Only to see them all screaming and running away. Turns out, I'd crashed through a shipment of Turian brandy on my way in. Never even noticed I was on fire. But they sure did. Never seen a pack of mercs panic that badly before.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Ascendant, Keep your distance. Don't let him get you in those force fields. Pop that little orb, then shoot him in the head, just like anything else.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Would you mind taking a slight detour and dropping me back in the Milky Way?
What's the problem?
Little something I just heard about called exaltation.
Guess you should have read the fine print on the initiative brochure.
Or read it at all. I gotta start eating more protein and getting a full night's sleep. It'll take everything we got to get through this mess.
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
Ryder?
Any more Commando war stories?
We once infiltrated a dangerous cult by posing as new initiates. Valenza hated it. She was like our padre. The cult, that perversion of faith, really upset her.
How did you stop them?
Nasira pretended that Valenza needed to be purified of evil. She was given a private audience with the cult leader. Valenza shot her, and then prayed for her.
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
Still deciphering the Ark's last known course from the flight recorder, and making sure we're ready for a fight.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
How you feeling, Moshe Sefa?
Weak, but I'll bounce back. I always have. I've broken each limb twice. You have to do more than wipe my immune system to take me down.
Oh, you and my mom would love each other.
We've talked enough for now. I'm still processing our disagreement, and I need some distance. We'll talk later. I'm unhappy with us right now.
Pathfinder, sorry if things got strange last time we talked. You're the first person I told about all that. It, felt really good.
Anything I can do for my team, Liam.
Stuff like that goes above and beyond Pathfinder. At least I hope so. Anyway, made me think we should do more just out and about. Off-ship, like the market on Aya. I've got some contacts and some things I'd like your eyes on. But mostly, it's a day out. Something familiar. Turns out I need that.
Fold orbit is steady.
The Scourge's drag on the ship.
At least it keeps Aya hidden.
Stars and skies light our way.
Stars and skies light our way.
She knows how to play a crowd.
She's the Moshai.
Welcome home. I never thought I'd see it again. Without the Resistance and the Pathfinder, I wouldn't be here.
We made a good team.
The Pathfinder destroyed the enemy's fortress, but thousands of us died in chains.
We have a lot to talk about.
I promised to lead the Pathfinder to Aya's vault.
You're still recovering. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere.
Not without our help.
I'll prepare the vault for your arrival. A shuttle will bring you to me when it's ready.
Thank you, Moshai.
We've been alone against the Ket for too long. You've proven it doesn't have to be that way. It's time we discussed an alliance between our people.
We're happy to make room for you on the Nexus.
We'll provide an embassy here as well. Our city is open to you. Join us.
Well done, Joel. Report for reassignment.
I need to stay with the Pathfinder.
Jal has already become a valued member of my crew.
Of course he has. I see the benefit. Request granted.
I need to file a mission report. Don't leave Aya without me.
you came back.
I have bad news. Your supplier, Keldo. The cat got him.
Thank you for confirming how he died. You have his supplies?
Keldo ran weapons for the Resistance. You were his contact.
Good, good. Continue.
Ephra asked you to test me, see how I'd handle myself.
I told him you were smart.
The cat had your weapons. I got them back.
Yes, all of them. And Keldo's killer's dead. This is good. You're honest, Pathfinder. Reliable. I'll tell Ephra you did well.
I appreciate it. I do want our people to get along. Help each other.
You proved it. This time at least. Need to get the weapons where they belong, but Keldo would want me to help you. I have things you can use, and I want to see your credits for myself. Trade?
Resources are scarce for us. If you'll take credits, I'll trade.
It's a start. My inventory's open to you. Anything you need.
She's back. The aliens, they rescued her.
Wait, you mean the Moonshine?
Yes!
Not above. I'll go tell the others now.
Pathfinder. I never thought I'd see the Moshlai again, least of all thanks to you. Welcome to the marketplace. I am Arbiter Renarth. I enforce correct conduct between merchants and customers, resolving any disputes. As the first outsider to enter the city, you are ignorant of our laws. We should change that.
Who decides what happens to people who break the law?
It depends on the grievance. I settle minor offenses right here. More serious ones require a tribunal.
Where I'm from, the biggest trade law is don't cheat. Is it different here?
I suspect we define cheating differently. What is unfair changes based on perspective.
I don't want to cause any trouble. How do I learn your laws?
I'll transmit a full readout. Familiarize yourself with the contents. Personal responsibility is a core foundation of our society. We expect it from everyone.
Understood.
Please visit my colleagues in the Governor's office and the Resistance headquarters. They'll teach you about our culture and what it means to walk freely among us. Your understanding is critical. It would be unfortunate if you accidentally violated our laws.
Your credits are as good as anyone else's. Don't start any trouble and we're fine.
I can do that.
Good to hear.
Vestoran? I was there when you landed. Watched you get escorted through the city.
Bet that was a sight.
You were an unexpected outsider. Not really a laughing matter.
I've never seen fruit like this before. What are these?
Paripo. Sweet with a little bite. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I have a few Kiloa or Elmok.
Is fruit scarce here?
In this form, yes. Very expensive. If you buy a Paripo from me, it means you have something to celebrate. It's a luxury, meant to be shared with friends and family.
I'll get moving.
Have something to celebrate? Take home a fresh fruit.
They let you pass the gates? Huh.
It's an honor, and I understand that. I'll be respectful.
All right. Everyone deserves a chance to prove themselves.
Ryder.
Doing okay?
Who knew saving a respected member of Angaran society would open so many doors? I've been talking to some of their traders, seeing if we can work things out.
I know you like looking for the advantage, but we need to earn their trust first. Don't bargain too hard.
You're the boss.
I'm not selling to
When
aliens.
comes calling, will you be ready? Buy my armor. Exaltation is just another word for how the Kett kill us.
And if you're wrong? If we've been killing for them without realizing it?
I saw a Kett up close when they attacked. It was nothing like our people.
The Kett weaponize their victims to make you hesitate.
And when the Kett begin to exalt your people, what will you do then?
Thank you for that. Insight, Pathfinder. The issue facing us is complex. Come, my friends. Deliberate with me.
Did you pick up any fruit today? Andromeda, do you have the minutes from the last council meeting?
My dear Emperor, when have I ever not kept such records?
There's always a first time.
For a youth like yourself, perhaps, I'll transmit them at once.
Pathfinder, as you can imagine, your arrival raised concerns from Aya's people.
It'll take a long time to trust strangers again.
Which is why they want the Nexus to listen to them. We've set up terminals in the city so people can leave messages for your people on the Nexus. I'd appreciate if you take a look and forward their communications to your people.
Arbiter Renav told me to expect you. I prepared a datapad detailing our laws. Read it fully.
The Moshai will be waiting for you at the vault.
While I'm here, maybe we can talk?
Of course. I owe you that. When I first escorted you through our city, I wasn't sure it was the right thing, but you proved I was wrong to doubt. No, more than that. What was done to my people. You made sure no more will suffer exaltation.
None of us will be safe until we stop the Kett for good.
I've learned to enjoy small victories when they come. What can I do for you?
So what do you do for fun around here?
The Tavatan is a popular spot for recreational activity.
Right, but what do you do? Can't work all the time.
Productivity is the best form of relaxation.
It's also a great way to get stressed out.
You sound like my brothers. All 10 of them.
10?
And 8 sisters. They're not allowed to bother me at work.
10 brothers and 8 sisters. You have a big family.
I've always thought of it as average. How many siblings do you have?
A brother, Scott.
What happened to the others?
Our parents only had 2 children. Underachievers.
That sounds relaxing. When my family gets together, the noise is like standing next to our largest waterfall. My mother says I became governor, so people would have to listen to me.
Is she right?
Always.
What's it like being responsible for a whole planet?
I suspect it's like being the Pathfinder. Some days it's a burden. Most of the time, I know I'm where I should be.
How did you become governor? Do your people elect leaders by popular vote?
If by vote you mean argue loudly until one candidate remains, then yes. I got here because I was willing to endure and fight for the obligations that come with my office.
I sense tension between your government and the Resistance. Who's actually in charge?
Ephra likes giving orders, right until the actual work of running a city starts. The Resistance is good at protecting us from the Ket, but our people need more. I've learned to indulge Ephra's need for control, just often enough to maintain my own.
Is there time in your busy schedule to meet someone special?
Everyone is special to me, in their own way.
Not what I meant.
Oh. No, that isn't a priority right now. Someday, maybe.
I'm hoping you can help me get on Ephra's good side.
If I knew how to do that, my job would be much simpler.
Sometimes it seems like you two don't get along at all, and other times...
He's a brilliant tactician and inspiring leader. We just disagree on what's best for our people. He believes secrecy and isolation keep us safe.
What do you believe?
We can't defeat the Ket alone, and neither can your initiative.
I have a few questions about your culture.
I'm happy to answer them.
Don't take this the wrong way, but this isn't your only city, right?
Not at all. Vold and Havarl both have several large population centers. Aya has numerous residential areas similar to this.
Are these places open for visitors?
In time, perhaps.
I've noticed that you, Ephra, and Jal all speak with different accents.
When the Scourge first struck, there were many Angaran worlds. They were separated for centuries. We developed divergent cultures and dialects. Ephra was born on Vold, and Jal is from Havarl.
What about you?
The Ket left my homeworld in ruins. Those who survived were forced to flee. We found a refuge on Aya. My family helped settle this world.
Aya seems important to the Angara.
Aya is paradise. This world is a gift. We created the Vassals so everyone could enjoy this place, if only for a short time.
The Vassal?
The time of change. Aya's resources are too limited for our entire population to live here. We each earn the privilege of spending a few years on Aya. When our time is up, we leave to make room for someone new. The cycle repeats throughout our lives.
Will you have to leave?
Someday. For now, Aya needs me.
Your people revere the Moshai. What did she do to earn that?
After the Scourge, our civilization was in ruins. Those who led the rebuilding were thinkers, experts, and inventors. The Moshai is the greatest scientific mind of our generation. She led us to a new age of technological innovation. When the Ket attacked, she studied their technology, learned their tactics.
You owe your survival to her.
We owe her everything, and we'll do anything to protect her.
Thanks for your time.
Ishare, Pathfinder.
Welcome to the Taverton. Feel free to order a drink, or if you're hungry, we have nutrient paste. Not as exciting as fresh fruit, but you'll like it.
What's in that stuff?
In short, everything. Nearly all the food we grow goes straight into processing. We can feed an entire planet in a single harvest. Even ship some off-world.
If we used your system, we'd never have a food shortage.
If you want, I can send a few samples to your ship. Your people can study it.
The Nexus would love that.
Consider it done.
What does Taveton mean? My translator won't pick it up.
It depends on the context. If it's a person, it means an old friend. If it's a location, like this, it's more a place you could bring someone home to.
What if you need to meet your Taveton at the Taveton?
It's not so hard to understand. I'm sure your language has its quirks.
Don't get me started. I'd like a drink. That's all for now.
We'll come back anytime.
Good to be back here. Ready to hit those scans?
What am I looking for?
Moran called out supplies that may have useful properties for our tech. Just need to get Sam's eye on them. Take a stroll. Enjoy the market. Nav sent.
Let me tell you about Rincon. Helping the Moshai opened a lot of doors around here. Most Angara still keep their distance, though.
Well, you are a bit of an eyesore.
Speak for yourself. When I saw my first human, I couldn't understand how you keep your blood inside. Skin that thin.
You could put Jarl on every Resistance recruitment poster. Did he ever contact you?
No, that man is impervious to flirtation.
Why are the good ones always dense?
I hear he had a thing for the repository's curator. Never went anywhere. She's just as thick.
So, Jarl's available.
You're hopeless. Where's that shuttle?
I'm so glad you're back.
Ryder, you are the subject of a detailed scan by an Angara standing nearby.
Maybe I should introduce myself. Hello there.
I'm working.
You scanned me pretty hard. That wasn't your way of saying, welcome, stranger?
I wanted to be discreet.
Noted. What's your interest in me?
You're an alien on my homeworld. Why wouldn't I be interested?
You could have asked.
Fine. Will you submit to a full spectrum analysis of your biology?
You haven't even told me your name.
Darnfra. Biological researcher. This is my home.
Are you looking for something specific?
We share many external similarities. I want to learn if that holds true internally.
Can't fault you for being curious. Scan away.
I didn't think you'd comply.
I'm full of surprises.
That you are. When we face extinction, family is our final comfort. Do you understand that?
I came to this galaxy with my family. I lost my father on the day I arrived.
But you still carry on his legacy. He knew that, in the end. Family is everything. Not only the one we have now, but the ones that follow us. What will your family look like in 5 generations? 10? How many of you will there be?
You're worried there'll be more of us than you.
I have 23 grandchildren. I want to know what their grandchildren will inherit. Goodbye, Pathfinder.
Ryder, take a break and enjoy the view with me. Well, what do you think?
I could get used to this.
We take turns living here. You can see why.
I love pretty much everything about it.
I love the air, the breeze. And one day we'll have more places like this. I have faith.
Productions are down. Now they're slaughtering outposts.
They're scared. Overcompensating.
Things got worse when Ephra sent the new aliens to help our forces on Vold.
Correlation doesn't imply causality.
Ugh, I hate it when you say that.
Then prove me wrong. Gather more data.
I always do.
Heard you were coming. I prepared a datapad on our laws regarding war. Learn them.
Pathfinder,
I have
it
nothing to
appears
say
the
to you.
Angara have installed the AI you found on Vold.
Have you connected with any of the scientists on Aya? Moshae Sefa?
I met her.
She's smart.
She will be dead in a few years.
Is that a prediction or a promise?
A hope.
Isn't this world better than Vold?
No.
You're safe from the Kett, surrounded by people who think you're amazing.
Idiots.
Is there anything they can do to make you more comfortable?
Deactivate me. Erase my files.
Anything else?
Trigger a volcanic eruption. Bury the city in ash and fire.
Okay.
It's possible keeping this AI intact was not terribly useful.
Well, good luck.
I hope you die.
routine veil to replace them?
No, 6-9 is too unstable.
They'll be out of food in 2 days. At ammo in 3. They have to fall back.
Sounds like you've got trouble.
Too many kit, not enough resistance. I have a team that's been in the field for 6 months without resupply. They won't come in. Say they're close to taking down a kit outpost, but I don't know.
If they could do it alone, they would have by now. Send reinforcements.
Hitting the enemy in one place leaves us vulnerable elsewhere. But you're right. This is the hardest part of my job. Thank you for the advice, Pathfinder.
That's quite the gift you sent. Insane AI. Real attention grabber.
I couldn't leave it on Vold. Maybe it'll help someday.
Have to talk it out of killing itself first. What do you need?
What's your story, Ephra?
You're not getting my personnel file.
I'd just like to know who I'm working with.
You want to know what it's like being me? I wake up every morning to fight a war. I send people to kill and die. If I'm lucky, there are more dead Ket than resistance when I go to sleep.
That's a hell of a burden.
Enough personal discussion.
You've been fighting Ket a long time. Any advice?
Your war's different from ours.
It's still a war, and we're not prepared for it.
Wouldn't matter if you were. The Ket aren't a conventional enemy.
Any idea where they came from? A homeworld somewhere?
Each of our colonies heard a different story. I doubt any were true. They came from far away. That's all we know.
Ever tried following a Ket ship to see where it goes?
Of course we did. Wherever home is, they don't visit.
Do the Ket have a favorite strategy? Something we can exploit?
They switch tactics constantly, almost capricious about it. Makes them unpredictable.
They must have some weakness.
They're vulnerable to brute force. That's enough.
The Ket aren't mindless monsters. They must care about something.
Slaves, resources, power. Same as any conqueror.
You didn't see the exaltation process. Treat it like religion.
They convert us against our will. That's not religion, it's genocide. Every culture has its purpose. Theirs is to take whatever they want.
There's no official Angaran military? Just the Resistance?
Lost our fleets and armies decades ago. Ket mostly. The rest fell to internal strife. We kept fighting, but our civilians were disorganized. Poorly supplied, leaderless. Decades of aimless defiance got us nowhere. I had to make the Resistance real.
I've seen armed people in uniform. They're not Resistance?
Aya police. Purely ornamental. Gives us the appearance of civilization.
You don't think they're necessary?
If things go bad, the Resistance will handle it.
That's up to the governor, isn't it? How is the Resistance organized?
Loosely, we operate in cells. Independent strike teams have better odds. If the Ket capture a cell, it doesn't compromise the rest.
How'd you wind up in charge?
Nothing to lose. My family was rounded up into a Ket slave camp. Last contact I had with any of them was 10 years ago.
They could still be alive.
Didn't figure you for an optimist.
What success have you had against the Ket?
Enemy casualties are up 600% in 3 years. But that's just a number. Every time we destroy a facility, take out a warship, we give our people hope.
And you're not fighting alone anymore.
We'll see.
What do you think of your governor?
She governs Aya, not the Resistance.
Way to avoid the question. Is there history between you?
I can always count on Paran to offer a spirited argument.
You respect her.
She holds her own. Not many do.
I hope the initiative is making a good impression.
The initiative. Sounds so unthreatening, like a city planner meeting.
That's kind of what it's meant to be.
City planners don't walk around in battle armor with rifles on their shoulder.
Depends on the city. My point is, we traveled through dark space to build something here.
That's what invaders always say. At first.
We're not invaders.
Of course.
I'll let you get back to it.
Good.
Let's go over this again, everyone. I have nothing to say to you.
Well, good luck.
I hope you die.
Ryder. Wish I could join in down there. I could use a workout. Getting lots of stairs. Reminds me of being on Thessia for Asari commando training. We're the aliens.
For some Angara, we're the only humans they'll ever see. That's huge.
Whatever happens, we'll make a better show than this can.
Pathfinder, Ephra cleared you to purchase weapons over my objections.
Anything I buy will be used to fight Ket.
You fight our enemy, but you're not one of us. Remember that.
Sam, is this thing safe?
Yes. The slight ringing in your ears is nothing to worry about.
Very reassuring.
I assume you're the human everyone's buzzing about. If you're looking for treatment, I'm afraid I don't know enough about human physiology to be much help. Unless you can make use of the ion beds.
If Jal takes a hit on my watch, my doctor needs to know how to treat him. Can you point me to resources she can use to learn your methods?
So you're considering all possibilities. Jal is in good hands. I have medical journals on treating Angaran injuries and preventing complications. You're welcome to upload them to your ship's doctor for study.
Is there something special about the beds here?
They're filled with a negatively charged iron gel. The gel works with our natural electricity to speed recovery.
Think it'd work on other species?
Without bioelectricity, it would be of small benefit, but it might reduce pain.
So you guys are electrically charged?
Our bodies produce a store of electricity that we can dispel in a surge of energy. We use it for short-range communication, healing, even combat. I admit, I was surprised to learn your kind doesn't have that ability.
Some of us are biotic. It's similar, kinda.
I would be interested to study biotics.
I'll get moving.
Ishari.
Are you getting enough sunlight?
Plenty.
And the ion bed. They've calibrated it.
Everything is fine, Taoshe. Stop worrying.
Getting acquainted with our new neighbors?
Sort of. All this stuff. The Angara sure do have a rich culture and blah, blah, blah.
You're sauced, aren't you? What's your poison?
I visited that cafe the Angara consider a bar. Asked for their hardest stuff. It was weird, which I like, but had almost no punch. Lightweight. Whoa.
Steady now?
That stuff must have a slow absorption rate. Whoops. Oh, Ryder. It's just... This museum reminds me of being on Haitiana during my indentured service as a student. They even have a whole section on the Remnant. I didn't come to Andromeda to follow in someone else's footsteps.
Don't worry, PB. The Angara barely have a foothold. Sure, they live among the ruins, but they haven't seen what we've already seen.
You might have a point there. Bet nobody here has ever outrun an ancient vault purification field, huh?
Nope.
Or spat in that Archon's ugly mug and lived to talk about it? That was nice work, by the way.
Thank you.
You're right. Not sure why, but ever since I packed up my apartment on the Nexus, something's crawled under my skin. But whatever it is, I promise, I'll get over it lickety-split.
You're fine, PB. We all need to cut loose once in a while.
You're very understanding and attractive. Nice combination. Think I'll stay in your operation a little while longer.
We got word from Eladin.
Good news?
Well, we got another remnant piece.
But nothing Angaran. Pay them for their effort. It's not their fault. I've heard so much about you. Is it true you entered a vault on Eos?
Sure is.
Amazing. I would have liked to see that.
Are you a relic hunter like Avela?
Actually, I started as an engineer. The Moshai requested my help cracking encryption on a remnant ship she found. Eventually, that led me to the repository. I've been handling data encryption here ever since.
I take it you help run this place.
Nalan and I are Avela's assistants. It's been strange getting used to that.
Why?
Avela's much younger than the previous curator. She has a lot more energy. Sometimes I have to remind her to take a break. She's too passionate for her own good.
I'll let you get back to it.
Pathfinder, did you make it to Hervarl?
I found this Angaran helmet. Does it mean anything to you?
This is a pre-Dark Age design. Do you see the black marks? The Scourge targeted this pilot's ship. Stars, it's perfectly preserved. I can almost imagine the pilot. He must have been so afraid. I've never seen one of these intact. Do you know how rare this is? I can't even begin to repay you.
Why would the Scourge target that ship?
It must have been a remnant vessel, or maybe there's remnant tech in the helmet itself. Can you imagine? Our ancestors using the remnant. You know, Pathfinder, this gets me thinking. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even know that helmet existed. What if that's not all we're missing? There could be a wealth of history just out of our reach. So, I'm requesting your help again.
I can't agree without knowing what you want from me.
Of course, that's only fair. I've led digs on every Angaran homeworld, but there are places I've missed, areas only a Pathfinder could go. There could be relics sitting untouched for centuries because no one could reach them. What I ask is this: if you ever find yourself in an area like that, you keep an eye out for artifacts.
That's it?
That's it. Keep me in mind as you explore, and bring me anything of interest.
It'd help if I knew where to look.
Any planet could contain something of potential value. My people traveled far. I know that doesn't answer your question, but
Just keep your eyes open for me.
You're the expert. Can't you just come with me?
I'd like to, more than anything, but I'm needed here. My predecessor trusted me to stay and carry on his work, to find answers. No matter how much I miss the adventure, I have a responsibility here.
A few hidden relics coming up.
I don't know what I'd do without you. I'll be here if you find anything. Good luck.
You said the helmet was touched by the Scourge? What does that mean?
I forget your people weren't around for that. When the Scourge appeared, it targeted remnant ships, broke down their technology. With the drive cores disabled...
The ships crashed.
But that may not be all. The Scourge leaves a mark on whatever it touches. If it touched this helmet, perhaps the pilot was the target. There may be remnant tech inside the helmet.
Or in the pilot.
Storms. I hadn't even thought of that.
Any insight you can give me on the remnant tech?
We don't know much. To our understanding, it's always been here. Stars. I would love to be the one to solve that mystery.
This is quite a place.
It feels like home to me. Sometimes I think I should move in here. But it's got a long way to go. Someday we'll fill it with relics of the past, each one telling a story. And my people will come here to learn. And to remember.
You'll get there.
With enough hard work, yes.
Is it normal for someone as young as you to be in charge?
I'm no younger than you. And you're a Pathfinder.
I kinda inherited the job.
So did I. I was apprenticed to the former curator. It was my job to bring him artifacts from other worlds. When he retired, I sort of fell into his position.
Do you miss relic hunting?
Some days, but mostly I'm happy to spend more time with each piece.
Have you always been into history?
Oh yes. When I was young, I would dig up shells and pretend they were ancient armor pieces. I've always had a big imagination. With only 14 siblings, I got lonely sometimes.
14? That's insane.
Why? How many do you have?
Just the one.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels.
Oh, it's you. I watched you land.
Hope you're not calling me it anymore.
You heard that. I apologize. I was ignorant.
What's your job around here?
Aelin and I help Avela with her studies. I specialize in restoration.
So you make relics look new.
New as I can. I'm not a miracle worker, no matter what Avela says. She'll praise Ellen and I to anyone who will listen. Never had a supervisor like that before.
I'll leave you to it.
Browse my goods. You won't walk away empty-handed.
Not today, Nexus.
Liam?
God damn it.
What's going on?
Nothing to worry about. Just come grab a table with me.
Indulge in a little luxury.
Haribo fresh from the farm.
Pathfinder, you're good here. We'll worry about the data another time.
Liam, what's going on?
I, figured we should end up somewhere nice and open. You were being cased.
Are you getting me in trouble? What was this about?
We're not in trouble exactly, but I don't blame them for being angry. I wanted to get data that would help yields at our outposts. Baran told me what to scan, but I called it off. I still owe her, but it's better than pissing off some gouging hardliner. Sorry I didn't clue you in. It's a security thing. Food is security.
Was this an attempt to copy their methods? Steal secrets?
We're not competing companies. It's about learning to live here. Remember my Tempest freakout? I tried proper channels. Got blocked by the Angara and the Nexus. There's only so much Jar can tell us, so I did what we do back in Crisis Response. Bend the rules.
Liam, I deserve better than having this sprung on me mid-market.
You're right, of course, you're right. And the Angara are right too. The last people who showed up out of the blue were the Ket, the ultimate users. I don't want us getting lumped in with them, and I really, really don't want to ruin the market. Street food and shooting the shit with you feels normal. About time something did.
We may have to stick to ourselves for a while, if that's what both sides seem to want.
It isn't. Saw it all the time during crisis deployments. Us versus them turns into food versus no food. We have to figure this shit out, or both sides will hurt.
We're still good.